Now time for Heat 12, X30 Senior, and it's Group C and D in action for this one. Let's take you through the starting grid. Otto Paikkonen starts on pole position with Lorit Saxer alongside on the front row. Henki Kaltren and Marcus Gloom on row 2. Kevin Lantinga and points leader Sam Balota round out row 3. Bertram Saxer and Mattis Merskaut round out row 4 with Bo Heymans and Tobias Norman rounding out the top 10. Sibyl Pagano and Conor Grant on row 6. Row 7, Jano Couture and Lucas Horsika. Row 8, Delano Vellens and Jack Buckley. Row 9, Tayo Fliegen and Thomas van Vliet. Rounding out the top 20, Simon Lacroix and Rima Blanc. Then next up, it's Maxime van Schoenwinkel and Casper Norman on row 11, ahead of Luca Montebello and Mirko Wouters. Esteban Walgrave and Luke Taylor, row 13. Marcel Matijevich and also Emilio Nofferberger round out the top 14 rows. Row 15 completing the top 30. Aaron Sarignac and Kane Ince with Arjen Kamphaus, Dennis Bowman, Ruby Verlinden and Matteo van der Kerkhofer rounding out the complete grid. After this, there'll be 3 more qualifying heats to go with each of our drivers will have completed 5 of these qualifying heats. After that, we'll then pull the points together, and whoever's at the top of the ranking after heats will score 80 championship points, and then it's the top 36 that go for the big points in the A final later on at 10 past 5 this afternoon. It is going to be a very, very exciting race afternoon, but also one of the other things that has just occurred, there's a little bit of cloud cover coming in here, Seymour, which means the sunlight is not as abrasive as what it has been so far.
Le tour de formation qui touche progressivement à sa fin avec un duo de tête que Alex vous a présenté avec Otto Paikkonen et Loritz Saxer qui se partageront la première ligne de cette grille de départ de cette manche qualificative X30 Senior groupe C face au groupe D. Deuxième ligne avec Henki Kalteren et Marcus Gloom. Les pilotes qui vont se présenter dans quelques instants dans leur couloir de départ dans cette ligne droite du karting Genk. Le départ avec vous, Alex.
Thank you very much, Simon Merguet. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on, lights are out, and it's the run down to turns 1 and 2. And Loris Saxer around the outside at turn 1. Bit of a contact between him and Paikkonen. And that is Henki Kaltren that's got the race lead. We've got a couple of carts intertwined. Tayo Fliegen being one of them in the 2:02, and the other one being the 2:93 of the Netherlands, Dennis Bouwman. 3 wide towards the back part of the field coming through the Europalan for the first time, but Henki Kaltren managed to negotiate the madness that was happening in front of him, and the 2:01, second in the championship at the moment, leads the way.
Henki Kalteren qui a pris le meilleur des départs. On a vu qu'entre les deux leaders, ça s'est quelque peu frotté. Ça ne s'est pas passé comme prévu, en tout cas, entre Loritz Saxer et Otto Paikkonen au niveau du premier virage. Ce qui a permis à Henki Kalteren d'en profiter pour boucler ce premier tour en tête de la course. Il a dans son échappement, eh bien c'est Loritz Saxer qui est passé à l'attaque. Le pilote danois qui reprend les commandes de cette course, en tout cas qui les prend pour la première fois de manière assurée. Attention à la réplique d'Henki Kalteren. Attention aussi du retour de Kevin Lantinga qui est en 3e position. Et en bagarre avec Mattis Merskaut. Et derrière, Marcus Gloom n'est pas très loin non plus. 6e position pour Sam Balota qui est un tout petit peu décroché, mais on sait que l'Anversois a les capacités pour boucher ce trou et pourquoi pas revenir. Attention à la bagarre entre ces deux-là. Henki Kalteren face à Loritz Saxer.
Right, the race is very clearly on because Mattis Merskaut has picked up a race win. Oh, we've got 2 off of the final corner. So, 2 drivers dropped to the bottom of the field. I think there might have been a few more cut. Oh, crikey. So, so we've had the incident between Dennis Bouwman and Tayo Fliegen, Esteban Walgrave. You've probably got Emilio van Offerberger and Luca Montebello and Thomas van Vliet we are now down from 34 to 28 drivers, which means 6 are out. But Henki Kalteren looking to become the 8th different winner in 12 heats. Mattis Merescout past Loris Saxa in the meantime. And the 250 for KCR Racing representing Belgium is charging forward.
Oui, plusieurs abandons à vous mentionner, hein, notamment celui de Thomas Van Vliet, le pilote néerlandais, celui de Luca Montebello, celui d'Emiliano Van Overberg également. Il y a eu quelques incidents sur ce tracé du karting Genk, notamment dans le dernier virage. En attendant, Henki Kalteren est toujours en tête, sous la pression de Mattis Merescout qui passe. Et c'est Loritz Sachs qui en profite également pour se placer à l'intérieur et prendre la deuxième position. Kevin Latinga 4e. Alors Alex vous le disait, hein, si Henki Kalteren qui se fait encore dépasser là par Kevin Latinga et qui glisse en 4e position parvenait à s'imposer, ça ferait un 8e vainqueur différent en 12 courses. Mais pour l'instant, Alex, c'est plutôt Mattis Merescout qui est en bonne position et lui s'est déjà imposé ce week-end.
Yes, he's already put his mark down because he's already won a heat. But there are so many drivers behind him. Saxa, Lantinga, they've all wanted to get an opportunity to get through and pick up a win. It's not easy when you've got 103 absolutely fired up X30 senior drivers competing at one of the world's best circuits. And now Saxa dives up the inside through on Merescout at turn 2, lap 5. That's done at the moment. But we are still 40% of the way through the timer, 60% to go, plus an additional lap. You now add Sam Balota, you add Marcus Gloom to that mix because they're part of the 6 drivers at the front end of the field. Connor Grant trying to battle away with the likes of Jack Buckley, Liana Couture, Bertram Saxa, et al. But at the front end of the field, look at the train. It is expanding. And at the back of it, the 397, it's a Falcon leading the train. It's a Falcon at the back of it because you've got Loritz Saxa at the front, Bo Heyman's at the rear.
Ouais, vous avez deux pilotes du team Falcon qui sont aux premières et dernières places du groupe de tête, avec en tête justement Loritz Sachs et derrière Bohemans en 7e position. Attention parce que là on a encore eu un changement de leader avec Mattis Merescout qui est passé en première position, Henki Kalteren qui en profite également pour passer 2e. Ça change évidemment à chaque tour ici. Kevin Latinga qui se glisse à l'intérieur également. Oh là là, que c'est chaud. Sam Balota qui a essayé aussi d'en profiter. Ce n'est pas passé pour l'instant pour le pilote anversois qui est ici en tant que leader du championnat. Et c'est vrai que sur les 2 premières courses de l'année, il a fait forte impression. Il a tenu son rang, Sam Balota, lui qui est l'un des grands favoris à la couronne de champion cette année, qui court après depuis de nombreuses saisons. Il a plusieurs titres de vice-champion à son actif. Les années précédentes, toujours battu par un certain Eli Goldstein. Donc c'est l'année ou jamais maintenant qu'Eli Goldstein se concentre sur un autre programme. Mais il aura fort à faire, hein, Sam Balota, parce que vous le voyez, devant lui, il y a des gars comme Henki Kalteren qui ne sont pas prêts à lâcher la moindre miette.
I think Ellie Goldstein's probably thinking, great, I'm being name-checked so many times. Well, he's still a face in the paddock, folks. He's taking on a team managerial role with TB Card in this championship. And he's also a factory driver in FIA karting, which is great to see his success really rewarded with one of the premium kart brands that compete globally. But this battle here, it's allowing Merescout to get away. Lantinga now ahead of Kalteren. What have they got to do? They've got to start pushing. Stop fighting, get after the man in front of you. And that is easier said than done when you've got 3.5 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Merescout's lead was 4 tenths. Expect it to increase. Now nearly 7 tenths. And that just goes to show, well, Lantinga just got a bit of a fright because he's just been passed by Henki Kalteren. And great crisscross through turn 3. Brilliant work by Sam Balota to steal 3rd from the driver on the Croc promotion chassis. And there goes Balota up the inside at turn 6 on Henki Kalteren. Sam Balota, I think you were fibbing. This might not be your best circuit, but it's definitely not your worst.
Ouais, Sam Balota qui n'est pas sur son tracé préféré ici sur le karting Genk, mais qui assure très certainement le spectacle. Vous venez de le voir avec ses dépassements successifs. Le dernier sur Henki Kalteren, et ça c'est aussi important pour le mental.
Yes.
Terminer devant Henki Kalteren en lui disant je suis le leader du championnat et je marque mon territoire ici sur le karting Genk.
Yes.
C'est très très important parce qu'on vous le rappelle, Sam Balota est leader du championnat et à la deuxième position de ce classement, on retrouve, tiens, un certain Henki Kalteren, troisième pour l'instant dans cette manche qualificative. Derrière, on a Kevin Latinga, Loritz Sachs, Otto Pikkonen, Boheiman, c'est Tobias Norman pour les 8 premières positions. Marcus Glum et Jack Buckley complètent pour l'instant le top 10, mais ce n'est pas terminé, il reste encore 2 minutes dans cette course, plus un tour additionnel, et Henki Kalteren ici, vous le voyez, n'a pas dit son dernier mot par rapport à Sam Balota. Il maintient la pression sur l'Anversois et ça va encore se bagarrer, ça c'est très certainement sûr et certain.
Yes, fireworks could be in the offing, but we've got 1:40 to go. After this, we're going to have 3 more qualifying heats for seniors. We've got 2 for juniors coming up next, but Mattis Merskaut, the 250 from KCR Racing. Great dive up the inside by Kevin Lantinga, through on Henki Kalteren to retake 3rd position at turn 2, makes the move complete by 3. That allows Balota to bolt a little bit further away. And then Loritz Sachs up the inside of Henki Kalteren, seems to be faltering a little bit later in this stage of the competition in terms of the qualifying heats. Each of these drivers have 1 more heat to go, and then we decide who's in the top 36, who's in the second 36, and whose race weekend will be at an end. Meantime, well, I think it has been the case that Henki Kalteren has been passed by more drivers. I think Otto Pikkonen has got past, and now Bo Heymans is not too far behind the 201 from RSD Karting. As Mattis Merskaut looking to become another one of 4 drivers to pick up at least a double victory. At the moment, Kowalski 3, Nogueira 2, Victor Louis 2, Mattis Merskaut is this, and 1 lap away. Up the inside goes Loritz Sachs on Kevin Lantinga, and that is now the change for 3rd position. Lantinga firing back up the inside through at turn 7 and dives through on the Falcon driver from Denmark in the 302 entry. And then Otto Pikkonen tries to get through at turn 9, but Sachs keeps the kart as wide as humanly possible on the rear axle. Timer has expired, and Mattis Merskaut, the 250 from KCR Racing, has 1.36 kilometres to negotiate. Looks over the right shoulder, has a commanding lead over Sam Balota. Make that 1.7 seconds. Kevin Lantinga has been at the sharp end of the field all day long, and also all of yesterday. And a well-earned top 3 for the 296 running on the Croc Promotion chassis. Jack Buckley rounds out the top 10 behind the likes of Marcus Klum. Tobias Norman, Henki Kalteren has slipped all the way down to 7th position as our leaders now our leader making his way through out of turn number 9 for the final time. 3 corners to go. And you look at the variance of how many different drivers so far, it is going to be 7 out of 12 in terms of winners. So Utron, Kowalski with 3, Van der Kerkhofer, Merskaut picks up win number 2, and it's a dominant one. After 12 laps of racing, he wins by 1.5 seconds over Sam Balota. Kevin Lantinga takes 3rd ahead of Loritz Sachs, Otto Pikkonen, Bo Heymans, Henki Kalteren, Tobias Norman, Marcus Klum, and Jack Buckley round out the top 10. Bertrand Sachs, Mirko Wouters, Iliano Couture, Conor Grant, Casper Norman, Riemer Blanc, Matteo van der Kerkhoff, Luke Taylor, Maxime van Schoenwinkel, Lucas Horsikas, Simon Lacroix, Delano Vellens, Ruby Verlinden, Kane Ince, Arjen Kamphaus, Marcel Matjevic, with Aaron Sarignac rounding out the 27 finishers. Sibu Pagana out on lap 3, and on the opening lap we lost Thomas van Vliet, Luca Montebello, Emilio Van Offerberger, Tayo Fliegen, Esteban Walgrave and Dennis Baumann. Matis Merskout has really put himself in the mix this weekend by winning Heat 12, C versus D for X30 Senior.